If someone told you a police officer gave them drugs to see how they acted when they were high, you'd probably say no way. Well, that's exactly how the Department of Public Safety approached allegations made by members of Occupy Minnesota last week. Tonight, they're taking it very seriously, even putting a state trooper on leave during the investigation. Fox 9's Jody Ambrose is here now with more. So, Jody, what changed?
Well, Heidi, it's one thing for protesters to complain, but when an officer does, it gets a lot more attention. A cop says he witnessed another officer giving someone pot during the state patrol training program. Now, a state trooper is on leave, and the investigation is just getting started. Now, take a look. This is YouTube video where Occupy protesters started making claims, accusing officers of rounding them up and giving them pot to be a part of the state patrol training program. The program is supposed to help officers spot drivers who are using illegal drugs. Now, the Department of Public Safety has suspended the program. One cop came forward saying he witnessed a Hutchinson police officer hand out drugs to someone during training. Now, we've also learned a state trooper is on paid leave while his conduct is being investigated. A DPS spokesman says the entire program is under review.
It's important that we completely review the policies and procedures, make sure our tactics and strategies are what they should be, that they're legal, they're ethical, and that the community is comfortable with how we handle this program.
The State Patrol says the trooper on leave is Nick Otterson. The Hutchinson officer has not been identified. The Hutchinson police chief tells me this officer is still on active duty at the department. Minneapolis police did not take part in the training, but the officers often came into the city to pick people up, and Mayor Ryback released a fiery statement today saying, "I never could have imagined that something like this would happen in Minneapolis or that it would happen without consulting the mayor and police chief." He says it's just plain wrong. Now, coming up at 10, we're going to hear more from the protesters who got this investigation rolling. Back to you guys.
When Occupy protesters accused officers of giving them drugs, to some the claims seemed outrageous, but now another officer is backing up those claims, and the state is investigating. Fox 9's Jody Ambrose joins us now with the latest on the State Patrol training program under fire. And Jody, how many officers are we talking about here?
Randy, we know at least 2 officers are being investigated. One of them is a state trooper now on paid leave. The scandal started to unravel when another officer spoke out.
Pick up random people on the street.
When Occupy protesters made outrageous claims on YouTube,
Then we smoked it all up.
cops questioned their credibility.
Did you smoke it in front of them?
I did.
But when one officer accused another, the State Department of Public Safety stepped in.
The officer allegedly witnessed a Hutchinson police officer providing marijuana to a potential subject.
Now an unidentified Hutchinson police officer is being investigated, and Trooper Nick Otterson is on paid leave. Both officers took part in the state's DRE, or Drug Recognition Evaluator program, to help officers identify drivers on drugs. During training, officers asked people who were already under the influence if they'll be a part of a study.
It's valuable work. We want to keep our roads safe. We want to do it in a legal and ethical manner.
Until the DPS gets answers, the DRE program is suspended.
One trooper going down for this isn't enough.
Organizers with Occupy Minneapolis are now claiming several officers handed out drugs to protesters.
The troubling part is just the fact that it's been law enforcement targeting this movement specifically and using it as an attempt to defame us.
Minneapolis police are not involved, but the scandal isn't going unnoticed at City Hall.
It looked like there wasn't much oversight into this. It looks like it was wide open for possibly abusing the program.
Occupy protesters say their claims might be outrageous.
It was a whole bag of weed.
But they're not lies.
Law enforcement officials are here to uphold the law and to protect and serve.
Mayor R.T. Ryback is fired up about these accusations. Ryback says the actions that led to the suspension of the DRE program undermine public trust. A spokesman for the Department of Public Safety says there will be a thorough review of all of the procedures as part of this investigation.